ever identify even one thing about the person who constructed your car that is totally separate from knowing that the car itself was nevertheless and indeed necessarily constructed by a person. The whole question is an irrational diversion. Okay, let's go back to the lesser things always made by greater. All right, that's a true statement. But Dawkins is abusing it. He's misusing it. But let's just go back. Remember, the honeybee makes a hive and the honeycomb, etc. And made things are far less complex than the things that made them. And surely it must be the same with God. Therefore, for something to be able to create God, so says Dawkins, it would have to be greater than God. See? If God created the universe, who created God? And then if who created God, then who created Him? And whoever created God, who created Him? And on it goes back to infinity, infinite regression, right? Well, it stops with God, folks. Now think about it. The Bible defines God as all-knowing, all-powerful, all-everything good, all-capable. Okay? God is already a being of all power, all knowledge, all capability, all everything good and necessary. It is logically impossible for anything to have more power, more ability, more knowledge, or whatever than God, who already contains, subsumes, and possesses it all. Therefore, God could not have been created, for no one or thing is greater than He to create Him. The whole idea of God being created is nonsense. Therefore, God is the self-existent, uncreated creator, the uncaused first cause. Okay, that religion is terrible. Look what they say. Religion grounds morality in fear. Bad religion. Bad religion. Religion produces dogmatism. Oh, bad dogmatism. Allows no choice. Why, those parents get their kids at home and they teach them Christianity. The kids don't have a choice. That's bad. It inhibits the ability to think and cooperate. Religion is the most potent source of human suffering. The worst suffering in the world has come from religion. This is what atheists say. Religion is based on superstition. It hinders the ability to grow up and face life like a man. And it interferes with achieving utopia. Keeps us down. Have you heard this? You see this stuff in the television shows. These one-liners they keep throwing in. This is what you hear on the television. Sitcoms and detective shows and just all kinds of stuff. They worked out those little one-liners in there. And portray us as fanatics. Okay, all right, listen, I did a bad thing. This is the last rebuttal that I wrote, and I have to write and rewrite, and I rewrote a lot on the plane. And I have so many messy notes in here, I can hardly read what was there in the beginning. So this is going to be a stumbling presentation in a lot of areas, because I got to decide, do I really want to say what I thought I needed to say or what, and then how to transition. But this is going to be clumsy. Okay, sorry. But you're going to get more than you would have when I boarded the plane, okay? Okay. I'm hoping more than you would have is good. Okay, now, the atheists will summarize all this and say, religion is the source of all our problems. And the solution is get rid of religion. I mean, that's like John Lennon. Imagine no religion. Yeah, that's an atheist anthem. Okay, well, to begin with, so we're just going to go down it. This is a straw man claim. Okay, religion grounds morality in fear of hell and torment. Okay, it's a straw man because the Bible says we obey Him because we love Him, not because we fear Him. That's a bald-faced lie about us. Isn't it? It's dishonest, unscholarly, and irrational to misrepresent Christianity like this. But even if biblical theists do obey biblical morality, at least in part out of fear of hell or punishment in this life, so what? The motivation for following a teaching is irrelevant to the truthfulness of that teaching. Right? It's irrational for them to even bring it up. Believing and obeying the Bible out of fear or of any other motivation does not make the Bible wrong in what it says. 2, even if biblical theists do obey biblical morality, at least in part, out of fear of hell or of punishment in this life, so what? Fear is a good and reasonable motivation. If it is grounded in a real place or object to be avoided, fear like, don't play in the road, a car might run over you, is a good and reasonable motivator. Especially for a child who wants to play in the road and does not have the mentality to understand or the time to learn and internalize the abstract reasons that can be given for staying out of the road. Back to don't touch the hot stove, aren't we? The atheist in raising this claim, the atheist in raising this charge of obeying because of fear and hell, is merely making a subtle claim that hell does not exist. But has the atheist demonstrated hell doesn't exist? He's just making a claim. That is the fallacy of mere assertion, when you just claim something and don't back it up. That's 4 fallacies, not... I didn't even mention that. It's free. Okay, the atheist merely believes hell is not real and is trying to influence your behavior based on his belief system. But if hell does indeed exist, obedience to God out of hope of avoiding it is a completely rational behavior.